Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body had been frozen prior to her being put in the trunk of David's Tesla.
Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes.
So the body found in the trunk of a Tesla registered to popular music artist David is that of a teenage girl missing since April of last year.
They claimed he was cooperating with the police, but that was a total lie. They tried to spin this as just a tragic accident, but that was another lie. Now, the LAPD has finally called it what it always was, a full-blown murder investigation. And David, he's no longer just a person of interest, he's officially a suspect that nobody saw coming. The authorities believe steps were taken to hide what happened, and they're saying it was done in a planned, organized way, not some moment of panic or confusion. Let me say that again. They think this was organized. That's how serious this is. And investigators are telling sources that whatever happened, the attempt to cover it up, happened inside that Tesla you see right there, turning the whole situation into something way darker than anyone originally thought. This wasn't random. This wasn't accidental. This was strategic, according to investigators, and that's why everyone watching this case is stunned right now. Now, remember how David's team kept claiming he was fully cooperating with the investigation? Yeah, total lie. LAPD sources came forward and straight up said he's been stonewalling from day one. His reps were out there feeding the public a fake story, trying to paint him as innocent.
At the very beginning of this case, we got text messages from David that he had sent to another girl that he was talking to, and he was basically letting her know that he wanted to break things off because he was going to go on tour, she was still in school, and the long distance just wasn't going.
While behind closed doors, he was doing exactly what guilty people do. Lawyer up and stay silent. Look, everyone's allowed an attorney, that's basic, but don't sit there telling the world you're helping investigators when you're literally refusing to answer questions. That's not how someone innocent behaves. That's the textbook move of someone hiding serious secrets. And here's where it gets even stickier legally. The autopsy. On November 24th, a judge granted the LAPD's request to seal Celeste's autopsy report. That means the official cause of death, completely off limits. The manner of death, sealed tight. Everything about the autopsy is locked behind a court order, leaving the public and even the media in the dark while the investigation heats up behind the scenes. This case just keeps getting murkier, and every update makes it clear things are far from over and the legal walls are closing in fast. The reasoning, the LAPD claimed that releasing that info could mess with the ongoing investigation. But here's the twist. LA County Medical Examiner Dr. O.D. Yuko actually pushed back. He publicly said that sealing autopsies like this is almost unheard of in other counties, and his office initially argued the justification was way too weak, something investigators weren't about to let slide. It wasn't true. The LAPD, in a move that's actually pretty rare, stepped up to publicly squash the wild rumors. Captain Scott Williams held a press conference and went on local radio to make it crystal clear. Celeste's body was not frozen, and she was definitely not decapitated. He even broke down why the frozen body story made zero sense. After all, the Tesla had been sitting outside in Hollywood summer heat for weeks. Anything frozen would have thawed and decomposed long before anyone even noticed. Basic science, people. Now, the body was partially dismembered. Police confirmed that, but the head was completely intact and there was no evidence of freezing whatsoever. So, where did all these crazy rumors even start? Probably from people looking to hype up an already horrific story. The LAPD was so fed up with the misinformation that they paused part of their investigation just to correct it. That's how wild the false stories got. Even with the official corrections, the damage to David's reputation is done, and honestly, that might not be the worst thing in the world. The more facts leak out, the clearer it becomes that this guy is guilty as hell. Now, let's dive into the public details about Celeste's body, because even what's officially confirmed is already disturbing enough to shock anyone following this case. The medical examiner's initial report, before it was sealed, revealed a shocking detail. But the court sided with the LAPD, and just like that, everything is locked down. And yeah, that's frustrating as hell.
Investigators and from sources that they say that her body was dismembered in that Tesla that you see right there. Early on, there were questions because her body was so badly decomposed, whether that multiple people were involved in the murder itself and dismembering and concealing of the body.
The public deserves transparency, especially for a case this high profile. The LAPD tried to spin it, saying they just wanted to see the findings before the media, not hide anything. But when you seal an autopsy in a celebrity-related murder case, speculation explodes. And explode it did. The internet absolutely lost it. TMZ and other outlets started reporting wild claims, saying the body was found in terrible condition, making it hard to determine cause of death. Harvey Levin even talked on his podcast with Mark Garros about how bad the evidence looked, fueling more frenzy. Social media went nuts. TikTok, Twitter, Reddit, everyone was buzzing about what they called the shocking condition of the victim. People started whispering that David might actually slip away, given how compromised the situation looked. But just when it seemed like chaos might let him off the hook, there was a huge problem waiting. Anyone following this shocking case knows the details. 14-year-old Celeste Rivas was tragically found dead inside David's Tesla, leaving the entire community stunned and demanding answers as the investigation heats up. But the updates that just dropped are even more disturbing, and the moves behind the scenes feel so calculated that even people who tried giving him the benefit of the doubt are now saying he's done for. This situation flipped fast, so let's break down what we actually know now, because the newest info is shocking in a way that nobody expected. First things first, the biggest update is official. David isn't being treated like some random person they're checking in on. He's locked in as a suspect now, not a person of interest, not someone they're quietly observing, a full suspect in what court documents describe as an active investigation into a serious crime. That classification dropped in late November, right after the LAPD filed paperwork asking a judge to keep certain evidence sealed, which tells you the case just got way deeper than anyone thought. So yeah, we've officially moved past the "this looks bad" stage into law enforcement believes you're involved territory, and the tone around this whole situation has shifted hard. But here's where things spiral into a whole new level of messy. Multiple major outlets, ABC News, People Magazine, and others, confirmed that investigators believe David didn't act alone. They think more than one person helped cover things up, and that's a wild twist. Her remains weighed only 71 pounds. Investigators believe she had been dead for weeks, possibly months, before anyone found her. Police think her death dates back to spring 2025, which means David was living his life, posting TikToks, going on tour, while authorities say a tragedy was sitting in plain sight. Here's a detail that gives chills. Celeste had a distinctive tattoo on her right index finger. And get this, David has the exact same tattoo in the exact same spot. Fans might claim it's just a coincidence, but let's be real. A 20-year-old man and a 14-year-old girl sharing identical tattoos, that's not friendship. That's not mentorship. Investigators are calling it grooming, a connection that ended in tragedy inside his car. But there's more. Police are making it clear David didn't act alone. They've identified at least one other suspect whose identity hasn't been released, and the internet immediately went wild with speculation. People noticed several of David's friends unfollowed him the moment the news broke. Some of those same friends were reportedly at his Hollywood Hills home around the time Celeste disappeared. The story keeps getting darker, and every new detail makes it painfully obvious that this wasn't a simple case. The twists, the people involved, the shocking coincidences, it's all coming together in a way that has everyone watching in disbelief. There are now theories swirling about a trip David took to Santa Barbara County in spring 2025. Some people think that might be where the crime first happened, or at least where the body was initially kept before being moved to the Tesla. The LAPD has confirmed they are aware of the trip and are actively investigating its connection, but they haven't released any conclusions yet. Then there are allegations involving another underage girl. Someone posted photos claiming they knew a girl who was allegedly involved with David when she was underage. The images were checked using AI detection software, which flagged them as likely authentic. Going back to the start of this case, there were also text messages from David to another girl he was talking to. In the messages, he basically told her he wanted to end things because he was going on tour. She was still in school, and the long-distance relationship wasn't going to work. The timeline matches 2024 to 2025. So if this is true, and I'm stressing if, for legal reasons, Celeste wasn't an isolated incident. There's a possible pattern emerging. Adding fuel to the fire, leaked Discord screenshots allegedly show David encouraging underage fans to misrepresent their age. All of this paints a picture of a man whose actions, if verified, could indicate repeated troubling behavior. And that's exactly what investigators are now trying to piece together as the case intensifies. And here's the wild part. David's fans are still coming to his defense. Scroll through any comment section about this case and you'll see people saying innocent until proven guilty. We don't know what happened, or he's been framed. I get it, due process is real. But at some point, the circumstantial evidence becomes impossible to ignore. The car was his, the house was his, the relationship was his, the matching tattoos, the timeline, the fleeing, the asset transfers, the refusal to cooperate, the other alleged underage girlfriend. At what point do we stop pretending any of this is coincidence? This isn't just a story about a celebrity falling from grace. This is about a 14-year-old girl who was failed by the adults around her and ended up dead in a car. David's dark truth is finally out. He's officially a suspect in a murder investigation. Authorities believe he may have had help covering things up. He's not cooperating, he's moving assets, and he's hiding from the consequences. So, let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated on this case and all the latest celebrity scandals, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.